Contact Report 423 Translation.
What is it about?
Park or Flagstaff, respectively. I have to ask something about whether you were informed of the matter about which happened when Elsie was sent to the USA.
Of course I'm informed about it, because Quetzal, my daughter Semjase, and I were working out a plan which was connected with the realization of a FIGU settlement in the area you mentioned. My daughter and Quetzal explained to you that you should entrust Elsie to travel to the USA and to search in the Munds Park or Flagstaff area respectively for a suitable location and enough land to build a FIGU settlement on it. With the help of Brit and Lee elders she really found a suitable location, but because of squabble and difficulties which happened in the group, and because of arising difficulties in the USA regarding the disregard of the truth and the human rights, etc., the project had to be abandoned.
Yes, that's exactly the issue I want to talk about and ask whether it could be contemplated to take up this project again. Another question is, why had you chosen that site at that time? Today, a place exists in Oklahoma where some people of the FIGU USA have settled through the influence of Mike Whelan. What about this?
The area was chosen and determined because it really was the only safe location for the mission to build a FIGU settlement. Returning to your question about whether the project could be reassessed again, I must say that this is not possible again for the core group of the Mother Center. Nevertheless, FIGU USA could take up the whole matter again, were its members to develop into a true FIGU community, which can now be hoped for since everything was reorganized through your help, which promises good progress. It would be extremely pleasing and desirable if everything were to find its order and be aligned according to the FIGU rules. The mentioned site then could really be used for a US-American FIGU center, which could be very suitable in terms of security as well as all necessary items regarding the fulfillment of the mission. I want to clearly and plainly mention again that it is fundamentally required that FIGU USA does now really develop within the bounds of that which is worthy of a FIGU group and is therefore in line with what is given by the core group of 49 at the Mother Center. But as I already explained, it would not be any more the responsibility of the core group of the Mother Center, but it would be the task of FIGU USA to acquire and build a center in the region of Munds Park or Flagstaff respectively, as we had chosen and proposed. Regarding your question concerning Oklahoma, it can be said that the settlement of the FIGU group there is not suitable, because this US state is burdened with religious things and insecurity etc. to such an extent that a FIGU center couldn't produce any progressive existence. Unfortunately, this fact has turned out to be true only after FIGU USA had settled down there and when everything forcibly developed to the bad and negative. And what evil had emerged from this has been proven during the last years through strife, discord, sorrows and destruction as well as disagreement, thirst for power, hassle it and mobbing in the FIGU USA in Oklahoma, just as what happened before to the Los Angeles study group. Oklahoma therefore is entirely unsuitable for a US FIGU center. On the contrary to this is the location which we recommended in the US Arizona state where the FIGU USA members should settle if an appropriate center project were to be realized there.
Interesting, what you are saying. The really special thing is that months ago I received a telephone call from Andrew Cassette, where he asked me as to whether he should buy a piece of land for the FIGU USA and for a FIGU center. This week he phoned me again regarding the same issue and asked me quite directly whether he should buy an even bigger piece of land for the FIGU USA in the Munds Park or Flagstaff area respectively, and to then transfer it to the FIGU USA as its property. Besides that, I want to ask you, as I am wondering, why Andrew was cut dead by Mike?
Were the FIGU USA to really develop into a real FIGU community according to the model of the core group of your Mother Center, it would be desirable to accept Andrew's offer. The prerequisite must now be, though, that the FIGU USA is really behaving constructively, progressively and is becoming of that which it must be. The location that Andrew wants to buy must be named as FIGU USA's property. As to why he was put off by Mike Whelan, on the one hand this was founded on antipathy, while on the other hand it was due to the fact that Andrew is very enthusiastic and through this he did not fit into the plans of Whelan, who is domineering, doesn't tolerate criticism well and wanted to be the sales ruler, as we established.
But there's also this matter of the $10,000 in the play. Andrew told me that. But I don't want to publish it openly in this report. Do you know anything about this? Is this a fact or not?
This matter is known to me and corresponds with the truth.
So that's true. What is your opinion that there was a comparison with Jim Jones?
In the course of time, this could have developed in the same way, were everything being given free rein.
Do you know the exact coordinates of this site which was chosen by Elsie?
No, they are neither known to me nor my daughter or Quetzal, because when everything turned out to be impracticable, we didn't care any further about it. Lee and Britt elders might know the data though.
Now once again I have a question regarding Flagstaff and Oklahoma. Shall we inform the existing group in the USA about this?
This may be necessary because the members of the USA group should not be left unknowing that the US state Oklahoma finally is not the location where a FIGU center should be built. If it should turn out that in the future regarding the construction of the FIGU USA everything will result in the correct way, we insist that a FIGU center will come about on that location which we have determined, even more than 25 years ago, assuming that the site which we sought out is still available for purchase. Were this not to be the case, another parcel should be found and bought in the same area, in order to then build a center on which FIGU members could also find a home. Of course there shall be no hurry now because it must first be proven that FIGU USA is now stabilizing itself and develops to what it basically must be. The whole thing may become really actual after quite some time, meaning that several years will pass until then. During this construction and stabilization process it should be taken care that Oklahoma does not become a center of the FIGU USA and therefore, not too much investment should be made. From our side, that area in the US state Arizona, where a FIGU center shall be built, is basically still valid. We cannot accept another solution, because if the mission should also take hold in the USA and bear fruit then this is to be done solely from the area we have chosen and examined. Of course Andrew Cossett may buy the site preparatively and build a home etc. for himself there. But in order to make it as a FIGU USA center and as a home for members, everything may be taken into possession only if all is flourishing regarding organizational, mission-related, interpersonal and member-related relationships, and if everything is running according to the FIGU way as this is given by the core group of the Mother Center.
Then it is really necessary to pass on this information.
That's certainly the case. It's desirable that our talk concerning this issue is translated into the English language and sent to the members in the USA. But it must be absolutely pointed to the fact that nothing must be rushed, for the time does not press, because everything must be thoroughly cleared and a real FIGU USA must be built, and the members have to prove to be reliable, enthusiastic and honestly striving as well as worthy.
That is quite plainly stated.